I'd love to know, do you have any like hot takes in metal?
Yeah. I don't know about metal, but music in general, I think
Okay.
production is getting too clean. And I'm not the first to say this because the singer for what band was some like metalcore band was like, I think production's getting too tight. It's like, well, yeah. I mean, production can be tight and clean and everything if it's a more technical and you need to be clean to hear everything. But I think it does get a little ahead of itself. You know, if the songwriting calls for tight production, yeah, you got to have tight production. Begat the Nephilim. I don't know if you're familiar with
Yep.
them. Good friends of mine. They're fucking awesome. Their last album they put out was so good, and like stuff like that where it's real intricate. You got a lot of pieces. You probably should have as clean as possible production. But I think intrinsically, when you digitize it too much, uh, it kind of takes the human element out of it a little bit. It's almost like the AI art, and we're right around the corner from AI metal.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not far off. And I'm not saying that like some of these bands, like Blood Incantation, they have a real raw production. I think they use tape. I don't even think they use Pro Tools. And yeah, it's not the tightest. It's not the most precise recording, but that human element of it's people playing death metal is there. And I think if you clean it up too much, it gets a little weird sometimes. Not
Yeah.
always, but sometimes.
Not every band needs to be Porcupine Tree.
Right.
You know?
And like look at like Between the Buried and Me. I love Between the Buried and Me, but like their live albums, useless.
Yeah.
Useless. It just sounds like the album with a crowd behind it. That's it. Like there's no and those guys can fucking play, no question about it. But
Yeah.
it seems like there's something missing with that live, especially the live performance. That there's that human elements a little bit because now we have in-ear monitors, we use click tracks and sometimes backing tracks. Sometimes they'll listen to the MIDI file of the song they're playing through their in-ear monitors.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, some bands do that. I don't know who does. I'm not saying BT Bam does it, but
That's why I don't get prog metal live. I think Opeth is worth it just because the music is so
it's
amazing.
so good. Yeah,
And the audio file version of it, of like, it sounds good on the record, but hearing it out of like the amps,
yeah,
and to hear it, even though it's like maybe not different.
mm-hmm.
And I totally get that with prog, but for me, the live has always been the energy
Yes,
for the live shows.
Yeah.
It's always been the energy. That's the thing, like the live shit binge, the Metallica Seattle show,
Yep.
where they're
Oh,
playing
so
shit
good,
so
dude.
faster and they're fucking screaming. Is
James
great.
is one of the best rhythm players ever. He's just so precise.
Yeah, one of the best down pickers.
Yeah, yeah.
I love his shit so much when it comes to like live performing.
Yeah.
He brings the energy, is so great. I love thrash metal for that.
Yeah.
For the live aspect.
It's rock and roll as
Yeah.
hell, dude. Yeah. Yeah.
where it's
definitely.
like, all right, we're gonna play to the the fucking track in our ear. Like that's
yeah.
ridiculous.
I've known of bands to do that, and it's like, I mean, you could do that, but you don't need to hit every note. We don't care about that. We want a good performance,
Mhm.
and I think most metal people would agree, except maybe the musicians wouldn't. They'd be like, well, I want to be precise, and I get that too. I mean, I played guitar for years, and you don't want to look like an idiot, but the reality is most people aren't going to notice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And if you're a little bit more rock and roll and not quite as precise, I think most people would prefer that. And I think that also comes across in recordings a little bit. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't have to be perfect. Like even like Lamb of God early on. I mean, I'm sure you've seen Philadelphia,
Yes.
where Randy got in a fight with Mark because he was like, you need to be more rock and roll, basically. He's like, I don't care if you're missing notes. And even on some of the recordings, Lamb of God, like they messed something up, but it added a little bit of character to it, so they kept it.
For sure.
And I think nowadays they scrub that. And I mean, I went to school for audio engineering. I've seen they would teach us like you got to have click tracks, you got to have everything has to be as precise as possible. It's like, but that, I mean, the musicians should have some say in this. Obviously, if you're recording some shitty band, like they should probably use click tracks because they're not good. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But like a lot of bands, I don't think they need it. I don't think they're just good musicians.